Winter is spent in Europe. While parts of Asia receive rain. The cold weather forced people to consume hot food. And soup is a great choice for cold weather conditions. Warm soup dishes in cold weather will provide freshness to the body. Soup comes from the French vis, sup, supper, and the classic Latin suppare, meaning to soak. Every country, even every region, has its own specifics when it comes to serving soup. And these are CNN's nominations for 20 of the best soups around the world. Banga soup, from Nigeria. Oil palm fruit adds fat and flavor to this Niger Delta soup, which also includes fresh catfish, beef and dried seafood. It's so popular that a ready-made banga spice mix is sold in stores. Most blends contain African nutmeg, castor bean, oroma, jansa and beletete leaves. The spices create the rich red sauce that's the main highlight of the soup. Drench it with eba, or starch ball, two Nigerian staples, made from cassava, and prepared in many different ways. Beef pho, pho bo, from Vietnam. The broth is simmered for hours with cinnamon, star anise and other warm spices, to create a wonderfully flavorful base for this rice noodle soup. Borscht, from Ukraine. Tender chunks of turnip swim in a bright red soup broth, popular in Ukraine and across Eastern Europe. Borscht, often topped with a greasy spoonful of sour cream, is anything but simple beetroot soup. It gets its hearty taste from kvass, lactic acid fermented beetroot juice, which is another regional delicacy. And although soup is sometimes referred to as Russian cuisine, this statement is hotly disputed. Now, Ukrainian chefs are campaigning for their version to be included in the UNESCO World Heritage List. Bouillabaisse, from France. Fishing pot has become a culinary icon. And bouillabaisse combines classic Mediterranean flavors, making the dish synonymous with the seaside city of Marseille. Saffron, olive oil, fennel, garlic and tomatoes are combined with fresh sea fish. This fish used to reflect the daily catch, but now it has become a bit stricter. According to signatories to the 1980 Bouillabaisse Charter, a collective effort by local chefs to ensure the quality of French soups. The most authentic recipe should contain at least 4 types of seafood. Chosen from a list that includes monkfish and crab. Caldo verde, from Portugal.
Thinly sliced vegetables and mixed with potatoes and onions, in this homemade soup from Portugal's Minho wine region.
Today, soup is the culinary star of everything, from upscale cafes to rustic kitchens. The definition of an easy, home-cooked meal. The tender Portuguese chouriço sausage, in many variations, gives the soup a smoky, salty flavor that makes the soup even more filling. Enjoy a glass of Minho's famous Vinho Verde. Chorba fric, from Algeria, Libya and Tunisia. Harvested durum green wheat, called freekeh, brings heartiness and nutrition to this North African soup. This soup especially popular during the holy time of Ramadan. Tender grains absorb tomato broth and aromatic spices, and combine their flavor with chickpeas, and braised chicken, beef, lamb or mutton. Serve with lemon wedges, and a slice of Kesra bread. Chupe de camarones, from Peru. This creamy shrimp soup is a specialty of Arequipa, a historic city surrounded by towering volcanoes. Cool nights in the mountains are perfect for a hearty meal. Tender shrimp swim alongside chunks of Andean potato and corn. The addition of ají amarillo, a zesty fruit-flavored chili pepper, adds a nice spiciness to balance the rich and creamy ingredients. Gazpacho, from Spain. Summer in Spain is hot, perfect for cooling off with a bowl of this chilled vegetable soup. Today's most classic version features tomatoes, cucumber, garlic and olive oil, with a handful of stale breadcrumbs, added for richness. The Arabs brought this dish to the Iberian Peninsula centuries before the Spanish tasted tomatoes, a New World ingredient. The original was a mixture of bread, garlic and olive oil, pounded in a mortar, and seasoned with vinegar. Groundnut soup, from West Africa. Like many culinary delights, peanut soup defies international borders. Meat, fish or chicken, simmered in a thick peanut soup, is a comfort food in West Africa. Variations range from Gambian domoda, the national dish, to a Nigerian dish, made from bitter leafy greens. Regardless of the country, these soups and stews are creamy, rich and salty. A hearty combination, that's often spiced up fiery, with the addition of Scotch pepper. Gumbo, from United States. Cultures and flavors meld in a hearty soup, it truly is a celeb of Louisiana cuisine. Inspired via way of means of West African, native Choctaw, and French cuisines. Versions made with seafood, chook and sausage, are most of the maximum famous today. However, there are myriad methods to make this southern specialty. Ground, dried sassafras leaves, known as file, and lengthy harvested via way of means of the Choctaw people. Deliver many gumbo recipes, a specific spice. Some chefs thicken their soup with a cooked flour paste known as roux. At the same time, as others swear via way of means, of sautéed slices of okra. Harira, from Morocco. When the sun sets during the month of Ramadan, many Moroccans break their fast with a bowl of hot chickpea stew. Cinnamon, ginger, turmeric and pepper add a warming punch to a hearty tomato broth steeped in tender chickpeas. It is also widespread in Algeria. While vegetarian recipes are popular, the most classic version is cooked, with tender chunks of lamb or other meat. This is not just a fast for Muslims, some North African Jews also cook harira, to break the annual Yom Kippur fast. Cacho, from Georgia. Tikamali with tart plum sauce brings a bright and hearty flavor to this traditional soup, which is one of Georgia's most popular dishes. It's made from unripe plums, the tart note of which offsets the richness of the fatty beef, and ground walnuts, cooked in the soup. The flavor boost, however, comes from the hops and Sunelli spice blend, a blend of coriander, savory, fenugreek, black pepper, marigold, and more. Lanzhou beef noodle soup, from China. Shaping, or hand-pulling, la mian noodles, for this traditional soup, is an art in itself. Artisans use finely ground high-gluten flour, and alkaline powder, to knead an elastic dough. Then stretch, and fold a piece of dough, to make enough noodles, for a bowl of soup. Place them in a bowl of beef broth, for a world-class soup, that features tender beef, light radish slices, chili oil, and fresh herbs. In some stores, guests may even ask for noodles the thickness and shape they want. Mohinga, from Myanmar. Soup is what is eaten for breakfast in much of Myanmar. Where street vendors and tea stalls sell steaming bowls of mohinga from giant barrels. The essence of this noodle soup is a fragrant broth cooked with herbs and thickened with toasted rice powder. The fish adds richness, and the thin rice noodles are perfect for slurping up. Mohinga is so popular that it has evolved from a breakfast dish to an all-time snack. And every region has its own take on the classic soup. Menudo, from Mexico. Tripe simmered for hours in a savory garlic broth is the ultimate Mexican hangover cure. But menudo goes far beyond morning remedies. It's also loved at weddings and special occasions. When dozens of guests can be fed traditional soup from a huge pot. It's simply comfort food with corn kernels, given a fresh bite by a side of raw onions, chili and cilantro. Moqueca de camarão, from Brazil. Palm oil and tomatoes color the coconut broth the warm orange-red color of this delicacy, from Brazil's Bahia region, where locals eat steaming bowls on even the hottest of days. The real highlight of this soup, however, is the sweet, tender shrimp swimming in the broth. Traditionally, moqueca de camarão is cooked, in a handmade black clay pot, and mangrove juice. Then served, in the same authentic vessel. Soto, from Indonesia. Chicken noodle soup can reach its culinary peak in this hearty Indonesian dish. Spices like fresh turmeric, star anise, cinnamon, lemongrass and lime leaves combine to create a deep, layered aroma and flavor, while soft boiled egg yolks add richness. Every part of Indonesia has a local flavor, and the soup is also loved in Singapore, Malaysia, and far-off Suriname, in South America, where the recipe arrived, with Javanese immigrants. Eat with fried shallots, fresh limes, and a fiery sprinkling of chopped red chili. Tom Yum Goong, from Thailand. Sweet, sour, spicy, and salty, this soup's gorgeous broth is the perfect foil for sweet, tender shrimp. Fragrant ingredients include galangal, lemongrass, and lime leaves, while chunks of bright red chili pepper add spiciness. Tom Yum Goong is just one of the many types of tom yum soup made in Thailand. This variant is enriched with fat shrimp, and is very popular with many visitors. Tonkatsu ramen, from Japan. Long-simmered pork bones add intense flavor to this classic ramen, whose broth is cloudy with zucchini and fat. It's a hallmark of Fukuoka Prefecture, on the southern island of Kyushu. But now, this hearty soup is served up in ramen shops, across the country, and around the world. While the indulgent broth is the star of tonkatsu ramen. A plate wouldn't be complete without chunks of pork belly, and a ball of noodles that are hard in the middle. Eat with chopsticks and a flat spoon, and don't forget to sip as this is said, to enhance the taste. Yayla çorbası, from Turkey. Boiled rice or barley add a grainy sweetness to creamy yogurt soup. It is believed to protect against colds in winter. Some Turkish hospitals even serve yogurt soup to convalescents. A crumb of dried mint helps balance the light yogurt flavor. Serve with a soft round flatbread made from fresh lavash.